Good evening, Kirk. Good to see you. Sonic looks excited. Well, hello, Brother Michael. Thanks for checking in. Hope everyone's doing all right this evening. Oh, man, bam, all of a sudden they're checking in. Look here, Keith. Good to see you. Brother Scott, Brother Jeff. Another Brother Jeff. My other Brother Jeff. Hope everyone's had a great weekend. Brother Brian from Alamo. Brother Dirk. Always helping me out. I appreciate it. Brother Merle. Brother Darian. Great to see everybody. Brother Steve Sorrells. Appreciate seeing you. Brother Grant. Get fired up here in a couple minutes, brothers. Hope everybody's doing well. We got the First Lady of Freemasonry checked in, and our local blacksmith as well. First Lady checking in from across the couple rooms over. Brother Michael, how are you? I got to send you an email about a couple of events at my lodge here coming up. I'll probably try to do that tonight. Brother David from Leo Lodge, thanks for checking in. Brother Rick, the Grand Steward and Tyler checked in. That's funny, Jeff. I love it. Brother Larry Spector checking in from Florida. I bet it's a little warmer there today than it is here in Indiana. Brother Ciano, the Peruvian Prince, thanks for checking in. Adam, Don Hainan. I've got something coming your way, Don. Randy, thanks for checking in. Brother Bill from Martinsville Lodge. All right. Things are going great today. We got a fire in the fireplace and a pot of chili on the stove waiting after the call, so some good warm up after being out in the cold today. Our illustrious potentate Mirage Shine checking in. Brother Scott and Mary, good to see you. And yes, the Colts did win today. I wish I could have watched the game. We were on the road, and we listened to a little bit on the radio, and then had an event today, so we missed it, but I've been watching the highlights. Our brothers from Webb Lodge checking in. Brother Rick, Brother Evan from up at Libanus. Humboldt Lodge checking in. That's great. Oh, thanks, Bill Power. 75 in Florida. Don't rub it in. Brother Les, Brother Tim, Brother Brandon. Great to see everybody. Well, I have an absolute lot of things to talk about. So, brothers, we're going to get started. And it's great to be here. We just got home a couple hours ago and been doing a little work around the house, trying to get some catching up to do. It's been a busy, busy week in Freemasonry. I know all of you brothers have been busy as well. A lot of things going on, lodges of instructions, a lot of degree work, and all kind of great stuff. So the commodities report, number one right off the bat, it's been a banner week for green beans. I'll tell you, I couldn't be much happier. I've had my almost my fill of green beans this week, and we checked in at number 6. 6 green beans at Masonic events this week. So I'm pretty excited about that. They've been running low, and all of a sudden the bottom drops out, and it just goes like crazy. So I'm excited about that. And shirt of the week, worshipful brother Keith Goff there from New Palestine Lodge 404 gifted me this little jacket a while ago, and I absolutely love it. And it's kind of cool in my office today, so I haven't plugged in my electric heater, but it's keeping me warm, so I appreciate that. And it's a great jacket, and I really love it. So thank you very much. Like I said, it's been a busy week. On Tuesday, I traveled to Columbia City Lodge number 189, where my good friend and brother Kirk Little is the worshipful master, and we presented six 25-year awards, and a lot of interesting things about that particular day. Number one, all those brothers joined in the first one-day class that was put on by past Grandmaster Gail Kemp. And of those six brothers, and they had a couple more that were unable to make it, but of those six brothers, two of them, including Worshipful Brother Kirk, have served as master of their lodge there at Columbia City, and the other four have remained active. And I think the key, I'm going to talk about one-day classes here in a little bit, but I think the key to our one-day classes is getting our brothers involved and getting them instructed on what it means to be a Mason, and giving them good mentoring. So the turnout for their stated meeting and their awards night was absolutely phenomenal. I counted 60 Masons, and of those 60, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, only 3 were visitors. Myself and David Fiddler and another brother, I can't remember his name, but we were the visitors. And they had a phenomenal turnout, several guests. The ladies of Eastern Star cooked a phenomenal meal. My favorite, meatloaf, mashed potatoes and gravy, and of course green beans, and a lot of homemade desserts. And they even sent me home a to-go pack that I ate lunch on that for a couple days, so I appreciate that. But it was a phenomenal night. I really enjoyed being there and meeting a lot of brothers I never had the opportunity to meet before, and presenting the 25-year awards. And I want to tell you, the 25-year awards are oft forgotten by lodges. My own lodge has failed at that on more than one occasion, and it's an easy search in your database. If anyone would like instructions on how to do that, I would be glad to do that for lodge secretary. Shoot me an email and I'll tell you how to do it if you don't know. But 25 years is a big milestone, the silver anniversary. The Grand Lodge doesn't generate those awards. Those are on to the lodge to do those themselves. And pins can be ordered from about any Masonic pin manufacturer. Certificates can be made for cheap, but inexpensively. But man, what a great night. And I appreciate you guys, Worshipful Brother Kirk, hosting us. And I had a phenomenal, phenomenal time. And then Wednesday, I was at Scottish Rite. At Indianapolis Valley, my valley, for the stated meeting, and got to make a couple presentations there. So I always enjoy. Of course, I work at Scottish Rite Cathedral in the foundation office, but I always love being at the stated meeting to get to spend time with brothers. And we brought in, I think, 2 new members that day, so it was a great time there. And then on Thursday, traveled to Farmers Lodge 147. Home lodge of past Grandmaster Roger Van Gordon, and Worshipful Master Scott Pike invited me to come, and for their they're starting some new traditions there at Farmers Lodge, and they had Bibs and Beans night, which is one of my favorite nights. I love putting on my bibs because they're comfortable, and put the suit and tie away for the night, and we had an absolutely great time, a wonderful meal of ham and beans and homemade cornbread. And they also made me a special side of green beans, which I gladly ate right next to the ham and beans. So it was beans all day for me on Thursday. So a great time, and I appreciate that. And they honored me with an honorary membership to Farmers Lodge number 147. And whenever I've received an honorary membership, you know, it's more, brothers, than just a piece of paper. That's a tangible piece of something to show brotherly love, and I greatly appreciate being an honorary member of quite a few lodges, and the newest one there at Farmers Lodge. Thank you so much, Worshipful Master Scott and the brothers of Farmers Lodge, for honoring me that way. I was very touched, so appreciate it. And then Friday was my lodge, Temple Lodge 47's annual homecoming dinner. That's something we've done. I have never looked back, but I think we've been doing that for the last 40 or 50 years, trying to bring as many brothers and their ladies together for a nice dinner and program. And this year we invited some of our widows that came, and our ladies from Eastern Star, and we had a nice turnout from our Star ladies. We're trying to reach out and be a little bit more cohesive with our Star chapter, and any lodge that has a chapter knows the value of having Eastern Star, and all the hard work and the great things that they're capable of doing. So we had a great night, and we do a memorial service for our brothers that had passed away in the year between homecomings. So we did that, and then I gave a little bit of Masonic history on one of our members that passed away, worshipful brother Clinton Gass. Just real quick, he was drafted into World War II. He was a professor of mathematics, and he was picked up and flown directly to the Manhattan Project to work on the atom bomb. And Brother Clint is remembered fondly by our lodge and by me especially, because he encouraged me a lot in learning the ritual, and instructed me on learning the funeral ritual. So I appreciate the opportunity to talk about our past master, Brother Clint Gass. So that was a great time. And of course, we had green beans with our dinner, so that made it even all that much better. On Saturday, the weekend was really busy. On Saturday morning, I went to Terre Haute, Indiana, where Social Lodge 86 hosted a one-day class, Grandmaster's one-day class, along with Terre Haute Lodge 19 and Humboldt Lodge. And I'm going to get in trouble here. I know the Master Humboldt's on here. I think it's 42, but correct me if I'm wrong, because I think I'm wrong. But they had a great turnout. Over 50 brothers were there throughout the day, and they raised 16 new Master Masons, and we had a great time, and the ritual work was spot on. They did a wonderful job putting it all together. And I know at the same time, Tipton 33 there in Logansport had a one-day class, and another 4 brothers were raised there. And our junior Grand Deacon Dave Hosler was there at Tipton and reported that it was also a great time. They had 40 or 50 brothers show up and did phenomenal ritual work, and it was a great day. Unfortunately, I had to leave early because we had yet another event on Saturday. The First Lady and I were invited to the Grand Lodge of Kentucky for the Grand Master's reception for Most Worshipful Brother Luke Martin and his lovely wife Amber. So we were guests there for their reception, and there was quite a few Indiana brothers there. Some brothers from New Albany Lodge, and a couple other brothers across the river. Mark Schaefer, Grand Marshal a couple years ago, and Scott and Teresa, and oh gosh, I just had a mental lapse. Daniel Pepper and his wife were there, and Archie Smallwood and a couple other Indiana folks. Eastern Star was represented from Indiana, so it was a great night honoring most worshipful brother Luke Martin. Fabulous dinner where they had green beans, and wonderful entertainment put on by Amber, the First Lady of Kentucky. Phenomenal night. So we spent the night in Shepherdsville, Kentucky, headed home in the morning, and on the way home we stopped at the Indiana Masonic Home at Compass Park, first off for lunch. And believe it or not, at lunch they always have fried chicken, and I had green beans. So green beans everywhere. And then the Order of Eastern Star, Indiana Order of Eastern Star, has an annual event at the home for Nettie Ransford. Anyone that knows any of the Masonic home history knows that Nettie was kind of the driving force to get the remainder of the funds needed to start the Indiana Masonic home, and she was a fireball and got that going. So they do a presentation on Nettie Ransford and her history and their connection with the Indiana Masonic home at Compass Park. So we had a great time there, and then we were home. So man, it was a busy week of travel, but it was a great week, and there's nothing better than getting out and enjoying our great fraternity and all the things that we have to do. So now it's time for our Masonic quote of the week. Brothers, I've really enjoyed this, and I learn a lot when I do it. So the Masonic quote for this week, especially I didn't get to see if our good friend from England has checked in yet, but our quote of the week is from Winston Churchill, one-time Prime Minister during World War II of England. And Brother Winston Churchill was raised in 1902 at Studholme Lodge, 1591. So just a little bit of brief history on Brother Churchill. And his quote that I picked out today really suits me very much, and I appreciate it. And it says, never give in. Never, never, never. In nothing, great or small, large or petty, never give in. Except to conviction of honor and good sense. Never yield to force. Never yield to the apparently overwhelming might of your enemy. Never give in. And that suits me pretty well. I'm pretty stubborn, and once I get my mindset on something, and once I want to accomplish a goal, no matter what the obstacles are, I've learned over life to never give in. So when you have those moments when you think you're going to give up and things aren't going your way, but you have something inside and you have something in mind, remember Brother Winston Churchill, to never give in. So I hope you enjoyed that one. And we're going to jump out there, and I just got a text from worshipful Brother Dirk Rader that our winner of our coin tonight is Kenny Stanford of Dayton Lodge number 103. So I will get that sent out to you, and you'll enjoy that, the big coin, so that'll be fun. So congratulations on winning the coin, Brother Kenny. I talked about the one-day classes we had earlier, and then giving the 25-year awards to the one-day class recipients from 25 years ago under past Grandmaster Kemp. And just as a note, we all have our preferences. You know, my personal preference is, you know, to take the degrees in the traditional form, your EA, and get proficient, and take your fellow craft, become proficient, and take your Master Mason degree, and become proficient. But in today's busy world and everyone's busy schedule, sometimes that just doesn't fit. And our one-day classes work out really well, I think. We've trimmed them up and have worked on them year after year and try to make improvements. And this year, I think they've gone very well. But the key to a one-day class is mentoring and bringing our new brothers into the culture of being a Freemason. They haven't had the opportunity to come to Lodge and get their individual degrees and meet the brothers of our Lodge. And we really need to concentrate on reaching out to these brothers and getting them mentored and getting them into the culture of the Lodge. One of the great ways to do that is through the rookie program. And I'll tell you, as important as it is to do that with our one-day class brothers, it's as important to do that for our brothers we raised in the traditional manner. Because think back in your Lodge experience of going to Lodge and putting on the degree work and all the work that it takes and all the meals and all the things that we do, and we get a brother raised and we never see him again. He might pay his dues, but we never see him again. We haven't brought him into that culture of being a Freemason, because it's a lifestyle. It's not just some club we join, brothers. It's a lifestyle and a way to lead our lives. So we need to encourage and bring in that brotherly relationship with not only our one-day class members, but with our new brothers. And again, the Rookie Award program is a great way to do that. A friendly phone call, speaking to our new brothers, encouraging them to come to as many events as we can. And I don't think we do a very good job when we're bringing a brother in of saying, hey, it's expected. You know, it's not mandatory, but we want you here as often as you can be here. We know that life gets busy, jobs change, but we want to communicate with you. What's the best way to communicate with you? And we want you here. We want to get to know you, and we want to build our brotherly relationships with you. So think about that as we bring in our new members, and we'll have, we're trying to decide for our one-day spring classes if we're going to do one centralized location and bring everybody together, or spread it around across the state like we did today. So if you have any opinions on that, feel free to put them in the messages there or send me an email. I'd be interested to hear what you think about having one big location and a really big blowout concentration in March, or spread them around across the state again. So excited to start planning on that. Our Pacers game, which is going to be March 29th, is the tickets are on sale, and I'm sure Worshipful Brother Dirk or Darian will post those links while we're talking about it. But Brother Dirk has informed me that there are 150 of the VIP tickets, and 75 of those have already been sold. So the tickets are out there, they're available, they're going quick. So I would certainly suggest that if you want to go, you want the VIP tickets, to jump on those and get your reservations in. And just like clockwork, there, Brother Dirk has posted the link, so we appreciate that. And a reminder to all the lodges. I know I've seen several pictures of lodges sitting around signing Christmas cards and holiday cards for our Masonic residents. And the deadline to do that is December 15th. So get those in before December 15th so our chaplain, Elaine Clark, can get those organized and get them disseminated to our residents there at the Masonic home. And we had a great time there this morning visiting with some of our relatives. They are our relatives, they're our brothers and sisters, with some of our residents and before the program started. So love the Masonic home, and we've got some exciting projects going on there that we'll talk about on another call. And let's see, what else have I got if I can read my notes. Oh, so we're in Thanksgiving, and this week I want to say how thankful I am for our Masonic ladies. First off, I'm extremely thankful for my beautiful wife, Mel, the First Lady of Indiana Freemasonry and the First Lady in my heart. She sacrifices a lot for me to be able to travel the way that I travel and to do, and I greatly appreciate everything she does, and all of our ladies, our partners, our spouses. A lot of lonely nights at home sometimes, but I know that my beautiful wife knows the importance of Freemasonry in my heart and what it's done for me as a man, and she's very supportive of that. So this week, let's be thankful for our ladies and our partners, and let them know how much we appreciate them, and how much we love them, and appreciate everything they do to let us be in this great fraternity. So in the midst of all the travel this week, I think it was Thursday. Now I kind of forget, but I think it was Thursday. Myself and I'm sure you know Tom Fallis and Steve Sonnefrank. Tom is the executive director of the Scottish Rite Cathedral in Indianapolis, and of course Steve works for he's a development officer for the Indiana Masonic Home Foundation. We've all been great friends and brothers for years, and they also had the distinction of serving for past Grand Master Jim Barkdale. Let's see, Steve was Grand Steward in Tyler, and Tom was Grand Marshal. And past Grand Master Barkdale was Grand Master in 2005 and 2006, so 20 years ago. I had been a Mason for 8 or 9 years at that time, and I want to say Most Worshipful Brother Jim has always been a quiet mentor to me. We developed a relationship several years ago, and a lot of fun when I worked in the office, and he was still secretary of Plymouth Kilwinning Lodge, still serving after being Grand Master, serving as secretary. And he would get often frustrated with the new database and the computer system, and we had our own little private jokes when he would call in, how we would answer the phone. And Brother Jim is now in assisted living, and we wanted to pay him a visit, and so we drove up to Plymouth, Indiana, and had a marvelous visit with past Grand Master Barkdale. Age is catching up, and we don't know what the future holds for Jim, but we had just a wonderful visit. And you never know where you're going to get inspired. That's why it's so important to reach out to our brothers and to stay in contact with them, and to have conversations with them and look them up, because man, sometimes you walk away with so many nuggets of wisdom. And we talked about old times and new things going on in the fraternity, and all of a sudden past Grand Master Jim looked at me and he said, "Randy, do you know what's sadder than not being a Mason?" Let me repeat that. do you know what's sadder than not being a Mason? And I said, no, Jim, what's that? He said, being a Mason and not being able to go to lodge. And I'll tell you that struck me really deep. And Tom and Steve and I just all three looked at each other, and I think what Jim was saying, that Freemasonry has been such an integral part of his life for years and years and years, and beyond just being Grand Master, but being active in lodges in the area, being a mentor, being a hero to people when he didn't even know it. And he's always gone to lodge. He's always been at lodge, and now he's in that stage of life where he can't get out. He's not walking well. He's not, um, you know, things are changing for him physically, and it was just so touching to think that, touching and bittersweet that he's unable to go to lodge, and hopefully can get back again. But we don't know what the future holds. But I walked away. We all walked away doubly blessed by our time spent with Jim, and but that nugget of wisdom just really touched me. So he is there in Plymouth. So Brother Dirk's gonna post Jim's address, and I'm gonna ask all of you brothers on here, and please spread it around, to pick up a thinking of you card this week, or a note, and write it to past Grand Master Jim, and let him know that we love him and we're thinking about him and his beautiful wife Roberta, and that we appreciate everything that he's done for this great fraternity, and just bring him a ray of sunshine this week in this cold and snowy weather, and just give him some words of encouragement and love. I'm going to do mine tonight before I go to bed and get it sent out, and I would really appreciate if all of us would show that love to past Grandmaster Barkdahl, and just let him know that we love him and we think about him, and we appreciate him. So if you would do that, I would greatly appreciate it. And on that note, brothers, also my good friend and another mentor of mine, most worshipful brother George Ingalls, his lovely wife Karen passed away a couple days ago. And there's not going to be a service for Karen. That was her wish. But I know that most worshipful brother George, you're in mine and Mel's prayers, and I'll reach out to you here in a couple days. I've sent you a couple texts, but just let you know that we're thinking about you. And when we talk about our ladies, man, George set the bar for taking care of his lovely wife Karen and making sure she had everything that she needed, and he put her first in his life. And what a great lesson, and what a great inspiration for all of us to be better men and better husbands and better caretakers of our loved ones. So send your prayers out to most worshipful brother George, and think about him this week as well. Some other things we have going on. Let's see, Brother Dave Hosler was going to put on my followmetofreemasonry.com website in the store our truck pins. We're going to use the leftover Betty truck pins that say "Follow Me" as an additional fundraiser that will go to the Grand Masters Project. We've got a few of those left, so I've got them with me, carrying them around, and I know our steward and Tyler has some with him. And if you would like one of those, it's a $10 donation for a pin, so we'll get those out to you. So you can go to the website. If it's not on there, it'll be on there the next day or so. Dave will get that on there, or when you see me, just holler at me and we'll get you one of those. So that's kind of exciting. And then we've already done our corn winter, and I'd like to talk about my project. I've got the First Lady's project here with me, old Sonic, my faithful companion, and he sits with me on most all the calls. So my project is the bell tower. There at the middle of Red Skelton Circle, and I know the foundation office has sent out letters on my behalf to raise funds for the repair of that. I'll tell you honestly, brothers, it's a little hard raising money for a project that's already done, but the bell tower was started and completed at the same time that the home board did the arches there at the entryway. That project saved about $7,000 by doing those at the same time. And I think with all the new improvements to the Masonic home and Compass Park and all the things going on there, it's important to preserve our history. And so if you or your lodge would like to make a donation to the bell tower project, I know I would appreciate it, and I know that the Compass Parks, the home board would appreciate it as well. We're trying to raise $70,000, but again, by completing the project at the same time, that saved $7,000. So if you'd like to make a donation, that'll go. And Dirk just posted that too, so the link for that. So I would greatly appreciate it. And also, while we're on the Compass Park on Veterans Day on 11/11 here on Tuesday, they're going to do coffee and donuts at the home at 9 o'clock, and in the morning, and then at 10 o'clock the veterans program starts, and they do a wonderful job. The staff at Compass Park does a phenomenal job of putting on these special events, and especially to for Veterans Day. I've been a couple times. I was there last year, and I will be there all day this year. And I will be speaking, but more importantly, our senior Grand Deacon, Worshipful Brother Dave Westemeyer, a veteran himself, he's the guest speaker. And I'm looking forward to hear what he has to say. But take time out this week. I know a lot of the lodges have done some beehive projects with the veterans. Take time out this week to thank our veterans, all those who have served. And if you have served as a Mason, and that you're now a Mason and you are a veteran, thank you so much for your service. And as a police officer for 30 years, I understand not all of it, but I have a pretty good inkling of what a lot of you have gone through and go through, and the sacrifices that are made. So thank you so much to each and every one of our servicemen and women for their service to this great country, and all the sacrifices that they make, especially during the holiday times of being away from friends and family and being overseas, or being on an outpost somewhere that, is just not home. So thank you so much to all of our veterans, and take time during this week, and every time you see a veteran, give them a shout out and thank them. And if you need more cards, our veterans cards, thanking Freemasons, thank those who serve. I don't have one handy here. Let Stephanie know in the office. I see Stephanie's on here, so hello, Stephanie, and she'll be glad to send you some more out. And I carry some with me in the car, so please keep using them for our veterans, our military service personnel, and our first responders. Would appreciate that. And now, brothers, I've kept you on here just about the whole half hour. I'm going to finish up with just a little bit of additional Masonic education. From our 9 classes of Masonic emblems, one of my favorite ones is the anchor and the ark. And as we know, brothers, the anchor and the ark are emblems of a well-grounded hope and a well-spent life. And they are emblematical of that divine ark, which safely wafts us over this contemptuous sea of trouble, and will moor us in a harbor of peace where the wicked cease troubling and the weary shall find rest. And when we stop and think about the anchor and the ark, that tells us a lot. That Freemasonry, and being a Freemason, is a place that we can anchor ourselves in our lives, to find that solace, to find that peace, to find that assistance, to help us through this journey through life. It's not always easy. There's been a lot of waves in my life in the last 28 years of being a Mason, and truly Freemasonry for me has been that peaceful harbor, and also that anchor that holds me in place. So, brethren, I just saw John Bridegroom, my Deputy Grand Master, and your Deputy Grand Master check in. I want to thank you for traveling up to Indiana Harbor Lodge. I had double booked, and he filled in for me at their Widow's Night. I did that last year, but thank you so much, Brother John, for all you do and for filling in for me. But brothers, think about the anchor and the ark, and go out and reach out to a brother this week. Send a card to past Grand Master Jim, and just let people know how great this fraternity is. And as I like to say, as we travel about the world, and for every good man that we meet, may your ringing challenge be to him, follow me to Freemasonry. Good night, brothers and ladies and guests. Have a great night. Have a great week, and we'll see you soon. Thank you. Good job, buddy.